I'm Dr. Karen Hillspruden, and I'm going to be talking to you about awakening the intrapreneur leader within you. Yes, that's right. You heard me right. Intrapreneur. And so sometimes we hear about the entrepreneurs, those individuals who stepped out and pursued their vision, made an impact in the industry, courageous, they're kind of doing their own thing. And some of you may be thinking, I don't want to start my own business. And you know what? That is okay. Many entrepreneurs were intrapreneurs before they ventured out on their own. And so we're going to be talking about intrapreneurs within the workplace. And, just like the verse out of one of my favorite songs, I am the founder of the Sister Leaders community. And one of my favorite songs, there is a verse that says, sisters are doing it for themselves. And we are doing it for ourselves in corporate America. We have the talent. We have the knowledge. We need to simply awaken and put into action our abilities so that others around us know what we have to offer. And so there are a ton of ways that we can do that. There are many ways to simply impact a business that you work for with the qualities that you possess. And many of you, I'm sure, possess some of those qualities. And so I want to share with you about how working as an intrapreneur, Intrapreneur, can make an impressive impact for the organization that you are working for. And so, first of all, people need to know what problems can you help them solve. A lot of times when you meet someone, they say, what do you do? I actually say, what problems do you solve? Because you need to know what skills do you have that can help individuals within your business structure. And so that is where the question comes from. What problems do you solve? It also will be extremely, extremely helpful if your skills are extraordinary. Yes, because being extraordinary, extraordinary, will set you apart from all others who have similar education, similar background, similar work history. And so what skills do you have that are so outside of the norm that you are extraordinary? Because I want you to think about how you can play up on those skills. There are various leadership styles. And so just like there are various leadership and general styles, there are various intrapreneur styles as well. And so I kind of want to talk about today 3 types of intrapreneurs. And maybe you can see yourself in one of those 3 intrapreneurs. And so today, we are going to talk about the advocate. We're going to talk about the creator. And we're also going to talk about the change maker. These 3 styles of entrepreneurs, they all contribute to the strategic goals of an organization or a business, but in slightly different ways. And in some cases, they are 3 different people. But guess what? If you are a leader that employs the situational methodology of leadership, where you vacillate your leadership style based on the specifics in front of you, then you may exhibit all 3 of the characteristics of each of these intrapreneur style: advocate, creator, and change maker. And so it is my hope that you identify your style and be able to determine how can you leverage your entrepreneur style and stand out among all other individuals who may have similar experience, education, or even title, and elevate your career all the way up to as high as you want to go. And so we're going to talk about the advocate, the creator, and the change maker intrapreneur style forms of leadership. So you may be asking, why is she so passionate about women leaders? And I am. I'm specifically passionate about women senior leaders, actually. And I'll tell you why. There was a time when I was middle manager Karen. You know, I am certainly no different from most female professionals. I had worked my way up over a decade, worked a number of different jobs, found myself in middle management. And as I was in middle management, I had a succession, actually 3 back-to-back interesting leaders. And after going through that experience of interesting leaders, I said to myself, you know what? I think I want to be in leadership. I think I can do it differently. I think I can be a leader with integrity and honesty, still be hardworking, still be knowledgeable, but operate in an ethical way. I want to be in leadership. And so when I made that decision that I wanted to be in leadership, I didn't know any females who were in senior leadership in the C-suite, vice president. And I really was looking for a mentor, someone who really kind of looked like me, African American woman who had been in the C-suite. And I wanted someone to be my mentor who had been in the C-suite for over a decade, because I said, if I get to the C-suite, I want sustainability. And so looked around, I didn't know anybody and I couldn't find anybody. And this was about 15 years ago. And so 15 years ago, LinkedIn was 5 years old, believe it or not. LinkedIn is 20 years old this year. But 15 years ago, LinkedIn was 5 years old. And it wasn't this massive monster that LinkedIn is now. I think the last data point is that LinkedIn has 900 million individuals attached to that program. No, 5 years ago, people were still trying to figure it out, you know, see what it's about. And I happen to be one of those individuals who were trying to figure it out about 15 years ago. And so since I was looking for a mentor and I didn't know of a mentor, I decided that I was going to find one on LinkedIn. So I did some research. I had some qualifiers. I was looking for a woman leader who was in the C-suite, vice president. That was the position that I was shooting for, who looked like me, African American, and who had been there for over a decade. Did my research, found 2 candidates that I was extremely interested in, shot off a direct message via LinkedIn, along with a copy of my current resume. And the direct message said something like this: hi, my name is Karen. I am interested in securing a mentor. I would love to have you as my mentor if you're interested. Here is a copy of my resume. I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have. Here's my number. And I just shot off my resume, shot off that direct message. and they made me wait about 2 weeks. 2 weeks I waited. And then my number one choice responded to me. And she said, sure, I'll be your mentor for $350 an hour. Now, if I lost $350 right now, 2023, I would be looking for that. So middle manager Karen was not rolling like that. And $350 was a lot of money to me. But what do you do when someone has already walked the walk that you want to walk? They have receipts, they're in that position. You know that they can assist you and aid you, elevate your career, elevate your status within your organization. What do you do? And she didn't know me from Eve. So I signed a 1-year contract. But I only signed that contract for 1 hour a month for 1 year, because I couldn't afford anything more than that. Had other responsibilities. So 1 hour a month for 1 year. And she poured into me. And, you know, she helped me understand that there's a difference between management and leadership. You know, leaders, we're looking 3 to 5 years down the road. Managers are more concerned about day-to-day activities, day-to-day functions. And so she helped me cultivate my skills of my love of analytics and technology. Now I can create a number even when a data point does not exist. And so I worked with her for a year. And then 2 months after working with her for a year, I was invited to apply for a C-suite position. And, you know, for those of you who know, you don't go in the newspaper or you don't go online looking for a C-suite position. Usually they tap you on the shoulder, send you an email, and ask you if you're, invite you to apply or be considered. And so I was invited to apply, and I did. I thought I was ready. And I went through the 4-month process, and I have been in the C-suite ever since then. I have been in senior leadership. And so my passion for women, female leaders came out of that pain point in my life. It should not be that hard to find someone to mentor you. It should not be that hard to find someone to ask a question about what should I focus on. And so that is how my community, which I'm the founder of, Sister Leaders, was birthed. Sister Leaders was birthed out of that pain point. And so I work with female middle managers seeking senior leadership positions. And I work with women who are establishing their own business. I work with them on leading people, leading change using technology and analytics. I work with women who are in corporate America on how to move through the employment recruitment process and how to articulate their successes using examples of technology and analytics. And that's why I am so passionate about women leaders. Because at that time, before I got that mentor, I was literally stuck in middle management. And so that is why I am so passionate about female leaders. And so we're going to talk about intrapreneurs, because most entrepreneurs are entrepreneurs first, as well as some people may not want to work for themselves, may not want to have their own business. And so how do you awake those skills and have a successful career working for someone else? And so we're going to talk about the 3 styles on today. So the first style is the advocate. You know, the advocate is the entrepreneur who keeps up with everything, all of the trends. They know what all of your competitors are doing. They shop your competitors, buy their products, go through their services. They get an inside view of what is going on in your changing market. They also sometimes send out surveys, get customer feedback and vendor feedback. They have their ear to the ground about the changing market. The advocate is your big picture innovator. This is the person who may not necessarily know how to get it done, but they certainly can tell you what it is that you need to get done. And sometimes the advocate entrepreneur can be a very lonely place. You know why? Because people don't see your vision. You have this foresight of what it is that is to come. They can't see it because they're stuck in present. And so you may be ahead of your time. There is this quote by Nelson Mandela that says, "It always seems impossible until it is done." And so that is the life of the advocate. People think what you're saying is impossible until you all find yourselves on the other side of success. And so the advocate is your big picture person, the advocate entrepreneur. The next entrepreneur is the creator. The creator is the detailed person. So you have the advocate that lays the groundwork. We should do this. Then you have the creator who is the detail. The creator is the how person. The creator takes the advocate's big picture product or service idea and devise a specific plan on how to put things in play. So the creator determines what talent is needed to achieve the vision of the advocate. Do we have the right people in the right positions with the right skills at the right time to get the goal accomplished? Or do we have to train up people? Or do we have to hire people from the outside? How much time? What is our timeline? So they'll talk about the timeline to achieve the goal to see if you don't have the talent internally, do we have time to get the talent internally so that we can achieve this idea of the advocate? And so they talk about the talent. They also talk about the equipment. What equipment is needed to achieve the goal? And equipment could be everything from software programs, hardware programs, to equipment to get various tasks and responsibilities done. Do we have the equipment? If we don't have the equipment, do we have the budget to buy the equipment? Do we have the budget to hire the talent if we don't have the talent? So do we have the equipment? And then the third thing that your creator is going to ask questions about is the processes that are needed to bring the advocate's concept to life. Do we have the standard operating procedures that are needed to facilitate this strategic initiative that the advocate has put on the table? And if we don't, can we create them? And if we don't have the talent and the knowledge to create those processes, can we hire someone to write those processes for us? So the creator is sometimes the person, they seem like they're not on board because they're asking so many questions that no one has the answer to because the idea has just hit the table. The creator is the person that kind of gets on everyone's nerves because they're just barreling questions at everybody. Do we have this? Do we have that? Do we have the talent? Do we have the equipment? Do we have the processes? Where's the money coming from? Not coming from my budget. Who's going to pay for this? Is that this budget year or next budget year? We've already spent most of our money for this budget year. So the creator is the detail person. The advocate lays the idea on the table. The creator talks about all of those things that need to be considered and put in place in order to bring that vision to life. So the creator, is the detail, the advocate is the big picture. But you also need another individual, and we're going to talk about that other individual as an entrepreneur, which is, as an entrepreneur, is the change maker. The change maker entrepreneur is your public person. This person is the face of your idea. This person is confident. This person is your extrovert. This person gets buy-in from stakeholders externally and internally. This person talks to the public. Sometimes this person finds the investors. Sometimes this person is the person that goes around to all of the different town halls internally within the organization and answer the questions of the employees if it's a major overall process change or new service that you're bringing. The change maker can be someone in any department. All of these individuals can work in any department in the company. There's no preference. It's just the skill set. But the change maker is the person who gets buy-in. So you need buy-in when you are bringing something new that has never been seen or done by your organization. So you have the advocate who brings the vision to the table. You have the creator who is your detail person, want to ensure that you have the infrastructure in place to facilitate this great and wonderful idea that the advocate has put on the table. And then you have the change maker who gets the buy-in, because you have to have buy-in internally in order to bring new products and services. People need to know why the change, why the addition, why are we putting forth this new product or service? What is the matter with the old product if you decide to retire an old product? Or if it's a new service, then why do we need another new service? And so all of those conversations are handled and spearheaded by the change maker. And so, entrepreneur, you have your advocate, your creator, and your change maker. And they can be 3 people or they can be 1 person. I instill in my coaching clients, in order to deliver breakthrough impact, they have to have these entrepreneurship skills. Entrepreneurship skills can be learned. You don't have to be born with it. There's a question, are leaders born or are leaders made? Well, intrapreneurs can be made. And so I would love to help you identify which one of these individuals you are. Are you an advocate? Are you a creator? Are you a change maker? Who are you when it comes to entrepreneurship? I am Dr. Karen Hills Pruden. You can find me under my name or Sister Leaders. Bye.